Ready to take your running to the next level? Master training zones now. You're out on a quiet trail, the rhythm of your feet pounding the dirt, the cool air filling your lungs. You've built up a solid base, 3 to 5 runs a week. You feel stronger, fitter, and more consistent. But you're wondering, what's next? How do you get faster? How do you go longer? And what's the deal with all this talk about training zones? Are they just for pros? Or can they help runners like you? Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of training zones, what they are, why they matter, and how they can transform your running. Think of this as your roadmap to becoming a smarter, faster, and more efficient runner. Ready? Let's go. Let's start with the basics. Training zones are simply a way to measure the intensity of your runs. They're usually based on your heart rate, pace, or perceived effort. Think of them as gears in a car. You wouldn't drive in 5th gear through a parking lot, or crawl in 1st gear on a freeway, right? Zones help you know which gear to use during different parts of your training, so every run has a purpose. Here's a quick breakdown of the 5 common zones. Zone 1, the recovery zone. Super easy conversational pace. Think of this as a walk in the park, literally. Zone 2, aerobic base. Easy effort, where you can talk in full sentences. This is your bread and butter zone, building endurance and fat-burning efficiency. Zone 3, tempo. Moderate effort. Breathing gets heavier, sentences shorter. This is often called the gray zone because it's a bit too hard for long runs but not hard enough to count as speed work. Zone 4, threshold. Hard effort. You can say a few words but no more. This is the zone that builds speed and stamina. Zone 5, VO2 max. All-out effort. Think gasping for air. Short sprints. This zone boosts your top-end speed and lung capacity. Now, why should you care about zones? The truth is, most runners train inefficiently. They run their easy runs too hard, and their hard runs not hard enough. This leads to what's known as the dreaded gray zone, where you're working, but not getting the full benefits of either endurance or speed. Zones bring clarity and structure to your training. They help you avoid overtraining, reduce injury risk, and maximize your fitness gains. Want to run that half marathon faster? Zones can help. Want to build stamina for an ultra? Yep, zones again. Here's where the science meets you. To use training zones effectively, you'll need to figure out your individual heart rate zones or pace ranges. Option 1, the talk test. Don't want to fuss with gadgets? Use your breath. In zones 1 and 2, you should be able to hold a conversation easily. In zone 3, you can speak in short sentences. Zone 4 means a few gasping words. And zone 5, forget words, just survive. Option 2, heart rate zones. This method is more precise but requires a heart rate monitor. Start with your estimated maximum heart rate. A common formula is 220 minus your age equals max heart rate. But here's the thing. This formula is far from perfect. Everyone's heart is different, and this estimate can be off by 10 to 20 beats per minute. If you want a more accurate measure, you can perform a max heart rate test using the Jack Daniels method. First, warm up thoroughly. Start with at least 10 to 15 minutes of easy running to prepare your body for the effort. Then run hard for 3 minutes. Pick a steady incline, like a hill or a treadmill with a slight grade, and run at a hard effort, but one you can sustain, for 3 minutes. Next, recover for 2 minutes by jogging lightly to catch your breath. Repeat a hard 3-minute effort, but this time, push harder. Run as fast as you can sustain for the full 3 minutes. Check your heart rate. Your highest recorded heart rate during the second interval is likely close to your maximum heart rate. Once you know your max heart rate, calculate your zones. Zone 1 is 50 to 60% of max HR. Zone 2 is 60 to 70%. Zone 3 is 70 to 80%. Zone 4 is 80 to 90%. And Zone 5 is 90 to 100%. Option 3. Pace zones. If you know your race pace or have done a time trial, you can calculate your zones based on pace. Online calculators like the Jack Daniels VDOT system are a great tool here. Now that you've figured out your zones, how do you use them? Let's break it down by run type. Long runs. Stick to Zone 2. This builds your aerobic engine, the foundation of everything. Easy runs. Zone 1 or low Zone 2. Think recovery and staying fresh. Tempo runs. Zone 3, 2, 4. Perfect for improving your lactate threshold and stamina. Speed work. Zone 5. Short bursts with full recovery in between. Recovery runs. All about Zone 1. These are short, easy runs to help your body recover faster. Weekly example. Monday. Rest or recovery run, Zone 1. Tuesday. Tempo run, Zone 3 to 4. Wednesday. Easy run, Zone 2. Thursday. Intervals, Zone 5. Friday. Rest Saturday. Long run, Zone 2. Sunday. Easy run or cross training. Notice the balance? Not every run is hard. In fact, about 80% of your runs should be in Zone 1 or 2, with only 20% in higher zones. This approach, known as the 80-20 rule, is backed by countless studies and top coaches worldwide. As you progress, your zones will shift. You'll need to retest periodically. Every 6 to 8 weeks is a good rule of thumb, and as your fitness improves, you'll find your pace in each zone gets faster. That's the beauty of training zones. They grow with you. Patience is key. Zone 2 might feel too easy, but trust the process. Over time, your Zone 2 pace will improve dramatically. Mix it up. Don't shy away from speed days. They're critical for breaking plateaus. Listen to your body. If you're feeling exhausted, take an extra rest day or dial back. Consistency beats heroics every time. Training zones aren't just for elites. They're your ticket to smarter, more effective running. Whether you're aiming for a faster 5K, your first marathon, or simply to enjoy running more, understanding and using zones can help you run faster, farther, and with fewer injuries. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Run Focused. We share weekly tips and strategies to help you run stronger, stay healthy, and enjoy every step of the journey. Got questions about training zones? Drop them in the comments and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching. Now, lace up and crush your next run.